Imagine waking up one day and realizing your job no longer exists, not because you got fired, but because society changed so much that what you do for a living is no longer needed. Today, we're diving into some of the strangest professions from history that have vanished over time. You might even find yourself thankful you're not stuck doing any of these jobs. Let's start with one of the creepiest jobs in history, the leech collector. In the 19th century, leeches were a valuable commodity in medicine. Doctors used them for bloodletting, a practice they believed could balance the body's humors and cure almost anything, from headaches to infections. But where did all these leeches come from? Leech collectors were tasked with venturing into marshes and swamps to gather these slimy creatures, often by using their own legs as bait. They would wade into murky waters, allowing leeches to attach to their skin. Imagine standing knee-deep in water, waiting for leeches to latch on, knowing you had to pull them off afterward and do it all over again. Leech collectors were often poor women, and they would sometimes collect hundreds of leeches a day. It was dangerous work, as too many bites could lead to blood loss or infection. The profession began to disappear as medical science advanced, and the practice of bloodletting fell out of favor. Thankfully, doctors realized there were better ways to treat patients than draining their blood. Before electricity lit up our streets, cities relied on lamplighters to keep the darkness at bay. The job of a lamplighter involved walking through town at dusk, carrying a long pole with a flame at the end to ignite the gas lamps lining the streets. In the morning, they would return to extinguish them. Lamplighters were essential for safety, helping prevent crime and accidents in the poorly lit streets of Victorian-era cities. This job required punctuality and a steady hand. The lamplighter was often a beloved figure in the community, as they brought light and a sense of security each night. However, with the advent of electric streetlights in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the need for lamplighters quickly faded. By the 1930s, most cities had fully transitioned to electric lighting, and the once essential job of the lamplighter became a thing of the past. Ever struggled to wake up on time? Well, before alarm clocks were common, people relied on a knocker-up to get them out of bed. In the industrial cities of Britain during the 18th and 19th centuries, knocker-ups would roam the streets early in the morning, tapping on windows with long sticks to wake their clients. Each knocker-up had a list of customers who needed to be woken at different times. They would use a long pole, sometimes even a pea shooter, to rattle the windows without disturbing the whole neighborhood. The job required an early start and a great memory. Imagine having to remember dozens of different wake-up times every day. With the invention of affordable alarm clocks, the knocker-up profession quickly became obsolete. By the mid-20th century, this quirky job had completely vanished, replaced by the small ticking clocks we still use today. One of the most eerie professions in history was that of the sin eater. In parts of Britain, especially in Wales, sin eaters were called upon to attend funerals and consume the sins of the deceased. A piece of bread would be placed on the chest of the departed, and the sin eater would eat it, symbolically taking on their sins so the deceased could pass on to the afterlife in peace. Sin eaters were often social outcasts, as their role was seen as both necessary and repulsive. They took on the sins of others, which made them impure in the eyes of their communities. The practice dwindled in the 19th century as religious beliefs shifted, and the need for a sin eater was replaced by more mainstream religious rituals. In an age before modern pest control, cities were plagued by rats, which carried deadly diseases like the plague. Rat catchers were hired to control these pests, often using only rudimentary tools and their own cunning. Some even kept live rats to breed and sell, as they were used in rat baiting, a popular but brutal form of entertainment in the 1800s. Being a rat catcher was risky. Handling disease-ridden rodents came with the constant danger of infection. Despite the risks, rat catchers were crucial in controlling rat populations, especially in densely populated areas. As sanitation and public health improved, and with the development of effective poisons and traps, the role of the rat catcher became unnecessary. These strange professions remind us just how much society has changed over the centuries. From wading through swamps to collect leeches to waking people up with a knock on their window, each of these jobs was once vital to daily life. The rise and fall of these old professions show us how technological advances and shifts in knowledge can completely transform the way we live and work. If you found these forgotten jobs as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more strange and intriguing stories from history. And tell us in the comments, which of these old jobs would you absolutely hate to have done? Or maybe there's one you find oddly interesting. Let us know. Attention all Tolkien enthusiasts. If you're as passionate about Middle-earth as I am, it's time to immerse yourself in the incredible tales woven by J.R.R. Tolkien. From the adventure-filled pages of The Hobbit to the epic saga of The Lord of the Rings, these masterpieces are a must-have for any true fan. Unlock the secrets of the Silmarillion and experience the depth of Tolkien's imagination. Don't wait. Click the link in the description to get your copies now. Let's embark on this journey together.